What's up, guys? I know it's been a while since I've done a video. I've just been busy with a lot of music, and I've been doing some traveling here. I'm actually in my RV here. But I've been wanting to get on and actually talk about this whole Reason 12 update thing. And I tell you, man, you get in a lot of these chat groups and Facebook groups and stuff, and posting these boards and stuff, and people are getting, they feel like they've been left behind, actually. But it's just some frustrations, and I totally understand what their frustrations are. I do. I think Reason does, but there's some things that I don't really think Reason is seeing that I want to point out, and I don't know if it's been talked about a lot at all. And listen, first and foremost, I've been using Reason, I think, since about 4. Their guys have been using Reason since 1. And, you know, Reason, if you're watching this video, if you happen to, please listen to what I have to say here. Because first thing I would tell you is go get in these Facebook groups and listen to these people, because you've got some people that are talking about jumping ship. And I don't want to see that. Reason's a great company. You guys are amazing. I'm not going to jump ship, but it's just kind of, I'm having to kind of teeter between two dolls, because there's things that aren't there. And, you know, I love Reason. I just want to use Reason. But I have to use, and I love it, Persona Studio One Pro. And it's a great DAW. It's incredible. But these guys are, you know, you got a lot of the guys that have been there since 1. I feel like they've been left behind. When you did this whole subscription thing, it was like, what about us? We've been loyal to you since 1. We've supported you. You give everything early to the guys who gave the subscription. What's going on, you know? And I get their frustration, you know? And my thing is, with the subscription program, I can't tell you it's bad. It's not bad, guys. You need to just, if it works for you, do it. If you're the kind of person that wants everything they have to offer at your fingertips, do it. I didn't do it, and I don't feel the need to it, because I've got a lot of VST stuff. I do a lot of native stuff. I'm a film and TV composer. I use a lot of that CPU-intensive stuff, like Farlight and Straylight and these strings. And it takes a lot to run it. And I bought about 4 years ago about $2,000 worth of software from Reason. I was like, you know, I'm gonna have everything at my fingertips. I've got to go for this. I'm doing this. I've got to have all the tools. And I just bought a bunch of some stuff I haven't even used. Some stuff I have. I've got more than I probably ever used with Reason. I didn't need to do the suite, and I don't really need to do that. Now, as for the upgrade, I will probably upgrade here. I will, because I do want to use Mimic. I think it's in Mimic. You guys nailed it. I think you did a great job with Mimic. I think it's a great sampler. I think it's better, honestly, than what I see with Serato Sample. Now, some may disagree, and it's okay. It's your preference. But I love the layering and the things that you're doing. But I think what a lot of these people think is like, you know, they get this email. Now it's going up to $200. Oh, my gosh, you know. I feel like I'm being extorted. To me, you're paying a hell of a lot more for the subscription in a 2-year period. Your updates, paid updates, average once every, 2 years. I'm averaging from what I've seen over the many years using Reason. That $200 is nothing. I'm okay with that. But there's some things that need to improve bad. And I know you sent the email out, Reason, and I know they did, stating they're going to get VST3 support. We need that. I mean, I got to go to Personas just to use some of the VSTs that doesn't even act like, it looks like it was uninstalled. I can't even find it anywhere in Reason. We got to get that for sure. That's a big buzz. But I think the biggest problem you've got, Reason, is you need to take some pages out of the playbook of Persona Studio One Pro. Because you've got DAWs like Logic and Ableton and Cubase and Studio One Pro, which is absolutely tops. Years ago, I left Pro Tools for Studio One Pro. Teddy Riley put it on the map. He did Michael Jackson's last 2 albums with the very first version of Studio One Pro. I've been using it since, and I love it. Problem is, back then you didn't have VST support. Now you do. I had to do what I wanted in Reason, and I had to either rewire it. My apologies. I had to rewire it into Studio One Pro, or just did all the waves, and then do everything in Studio One and master it and do my VSTs with it. Or I had to do everything in Persona Studio One, render the waves and put it in Reason and do it. And the thing is, I just want to use Reason for everything. I love it. I love its workflow and everything about it. But you guys, Personas has a latency monitoring feature that automatically kind of does a sub-freezing in the background where it doesn't freeze it, but it holds down to where I can go into PreSonus and I can use a ton of native instruments, a lot of these CPU intensive stuff, and it doesn't drag, doesn't hiccup, doesn't do anything, and it runs seamlessly. I want to see Reason get to that point. I can't do guitar work in Reason much anymore. Off and on, I get bad latency issues. No matter how I set it the way you tell me, I'm still getting it, and there's just some things about the audio when it comes to doing guitar work and that need to improve. A lot of the sequencer and the MIDI stuff. There's a lot of things these guys are telling you, we need it, do it. And I think if you look at PreSonus Studio One Pro, everything they're doing, you get better than that or to that. I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't be able to get to my credit card quick enough to update it, I promise you. If this time next year you had another major update and did all that, that $200 would be priority. It's first chance I could get into my pocket to reach my cards, I'd be on it. And I'll continue to use Reason. I mean, I love it. I do all the time. I was working today in it. But it has its limitations. And Reason, you got to get to that point. You're going to have to be a top contender in this industry to get these people back reeled in, because these people are about to jump ship. And I understand what the frustrations are. Some feel like they've been left behind. Some feel like they're just being extorted, which it's a bad word to put, and I'm not saying you're extorting them. You're not doing that. But when it's like October 1st comes, it's going to $200, you got to upgrade. And I don't know if it's because not as many people have paid for the upgrade as you wanted to and it happened, or what it is. I don't know. But Reason's an amazing company. They are amazing. And I feel sure that you will get there, but you got to get there sooner rather than later. You're going to have to add some more features. On your list, you're going to have to add these features, and it's the best thing I can tell you. I'm one person telling you out of I don't know how many that use Reason. But you got people that are going to Ableton. You know, and I'll be honest here. It seems to me over the last year or two, it's been like, just use our racks, use whatever DAW you want. A lot of your videos, you're doing the Reason racks and Logic Pro and other DAWs. And I'm thinking, it's like, just use our racks and our programs and stuff, and we're not worried about the DAW anymore. It's like you're kind of just kicking it to the curb. Don't do that. Please don't do that. I love the fact that it's a VST. I think it's awesome, and I use it any chance I can. I love a lot of stuff that Reason has. I can't rave about it enough. And us Reason users are kind of like the old Red Hat Linux guys back in the day, where everybody was using Windows, and the Red Hat Linux guys were in the corner geeking out, going, we can take Red Hat Linux and we can manipulate how we want. Can't do that with Windows. We can do this and that. Windows is horrible. And they were right, because security-wise, Red Hat Linux back in the day was a lot better. But we're like those geeks. There's only 4 of us at the Production Music Conference that are Reason users over there talking about it, and everybody else is using Logic Pro or Pro Tools or Ableton or Cubase and looking at us like we're funny or like, hey. But the thing is my point for today's video is Reason, you have got to get to that point where you are a top contender in this industry, where you're giving your longtime users what they need, where they won't have to jump ship and go to Logic Pro and PreSonus Studio One Pro or Cubase or Logic or anything of the such. If it's anything I can tell you, please, one DAW I can tell you to go study is PreSonus Studio One Pro. One feature I'd love to see you have, the latency monitoring, the better CPU on that. Please get your latency and your CPU issues fixed, so it can handle these VSTs and you get that support and get it gone. Number 2, everything in PreSonus is drag and drop. I can drag and drop anything I want to do, and I don't have to recreate the channel and go back and adjust my EQ and do all that. Now, I mean, I get there's ways that you can duplicate and do things, but I mean, drag and drop. You can do a lot of that. There's a lot of cool and amazing things in the MIDI editors, the things you can do. A lot of with the waveforms that you can highlight just a little section of a waveform, and you can just bring that level in without affecting anything else in the other part of the waveform without having to automate it. You just go in and just cut that little section, just bring it down or bring it up. It doesn't affect how it connects. It doesn't disconnect. It just takes care of that little form of audio. Just one of a million things that they have in PreSonus that works so well. And I get it. Some people say, why don't you just go use PreSonus? I could, and I do. I love it. But Reason, I love Reason. I love its workflow. I love everything it has to offer. And I want to just use Reason. But, you know, until that day comes, I'm probably going to have to be doing a lot in PreSonus Studio One Pro. And it's not a bad thing. It's a great DAW. I'm not going to lie. It is one of the top contenders in the industry. It rivals Pro Tools out the wazoo, because Pro Tools isn't that much of a sequencer in my book. It rivals Logic all day long. And Logic is not a bad program. A lot of people use it. It's great. In fact, when I upgrade my MacBook again, I'm just going to put Logic on there for the fact that I collaborate with people who have it. They can send me the session, and just another DAW for their instruments to use. But I get it. I get the frustration, man. But you guys have got to step up to the plate and fix this. And I hope that you do soon, and I know that you will. You're a great company. But I, too, am not happy with this whole 12 update. I'm not warm and fuzzy about it. Listen, I get you got to get the Mimic sampler, and it's incredible. I'm going to pay the $129 basically for that sampler, because I'm not a Combinator user, and I'm not worried about this create your own graphics and stuff. I've got things to do. Doing all those funny graphics and having it look better is not the priority. We want it sounding better. We want the workflow to be better. We want it to be seamless. We want everything to work and not break down on us. You know, I have brief deadlines and things I have to do. And when Reason drops, I have to go, God, I got to render everything 48K 24-bit and waveforms out, these channels, and I got to put it in PreSonus to finish it. Or if it's not working, I have to start in PreSonus and mix it and master it in Reason. You know, so, but like I say, I'm not jumping ship, and you shouldn't either. And I'm not knocking this subscription program, guys. I think if that subscription program works for you, do it. It's what works for you. It doesn't matter. I just assume own it. I don't need to subscribe to it. As I said earlier, I've got everything I need in Reason. I'll pay for the updates and go with it. And, you know, I love it. Reason's amazing. It really is. But, you know, it's just my 10 to 20 cents on that. Take it for what it's worth. You're going to have some naysayers that may negate what I'm saying and want to argue. It doesn't matter. Don't argue, because that's just my take on it. You, as well as I know, that there needs to be much more when it comes to improvements with Reason than what's going on right now. I don't know what it is, you know, and it could be they're behind with some things. I'm not going to lie. It costs money to make this software. If you complain about having to pay for that update, you shouldn't. You need to look at it this way. I would want to pay these guys for these major updates because they can't do it for free. You don't work for free. That's why I can't stand these people pirating software. It's getting harder to do it anyway. As much effort as you try to pirate the software, just pay for it. It rewards you much better. I can't stand these people trying to steal software. It's just ridiculous. Pay for it. Because you're paying for these people to design quality software. These people are amazing. They need to be paid good money. There's probably a reason why it went up $200. The cost in that, paying these guys. They want to keep this talent on board to design this software. They're amazing over there. These guys at Reason are amazing. These guys over at PreSonus are incredible. There's a German outfit that PreSonus bought out years ago, and it's how that came about. And it was the smartest thing and most amazing thing they ever did, because I don't know what those guys would have done without the funding to get that DAW where it needed to be. You know, it really is amazing. When you pay for it, you're paying these guys and getting them the means to be able to create this technology. It costs money to do it. I totally get it. Don't complain about that. Just do it. But I understand why you're complaining on 12, and it'll get better. Just know it's going to get better, guys. They've sent the email, and they're gonna come through on this stuff. But purpose of I intend to email them about this. But the purpose of my video today is simply this. There are features that have not been talked about that I've just mentioned that need to happen. And the best thing they could do is sit there and break down some pages from the book of PreSonus Studio One Pro. They can really do this. I'm not asking you to steal their technology, but you can develop it to where in your own way where it works. You know, if you sit there and figure it out, you're not stealing, you're developing this in your own way. I'm not a software developer. Reason is. And they'll do it. I know they will. They need to hear from us. They need to start listening more. PreSonus intuitively listens to their customers like I've never seen before, because you'll get some weeks of, we need this and that, and all of a sudden, here comes the update, and it's there. Those guys are amazing. I don't know how they do it. I mean, some people are amazing that way, I guess. The Elon Musk of software design. But anyway, I'm going to get off. I just wanted to get on and put my peace of mind on. I wanted to talk about it, get it off my chest. It's caused a lot of buzz. It really has. And I know it will get better. I know it will. But take the good part and the positive into Reason before you start complaining. Before you jump shit, you need to look what the amazing things Reason can do. The good part of Reason is that if you use everything just Reason minus your VSTs, it's incredible. It's incredible no matter what. But I'm just saying, the program has things no DAW has ever been able to do. The rack setup is incredible. When they did the rack as a VST, it got a lot of people's attention. They'd never seen it before. It really created a buzz. It was really cool. But that's the other half of the world that has never used Reason. It doesn't understand. Like, okay, they look at the DAW, and I've heard people that were longtime Pro Tools users or Logic users that got the rack VST, and they're like, but the DAW is a little behind in times. Y'all need to get the features better. They really do. And they're right. They're absolutely right about that. But they can't deny it's not an amazing DAW or an amazing program altogether. That Reason is not incredible, because it really is. Reason has been a staple for a lot of things in the industry over the years. I mean, hell, Beastie Boys used Reason in the early days. They got rid of all their old beatboxes and said, we got to use this thing called Reason. We got to do it. So anyway, I'm jumping off here, man. I thank you guys for watching. I'll try to do some more videos as time goes on. I've been busy and I'm traveling. But I think the next thing I'm going to talk about is when I get to the Production Music Conference in Los Angeles, I may turn the camera on and talk a little bit about it if I can. If I can turn my camera on in the background and kind of go over some things. Some things I've talked about in groups that you guys need to understand. That one thing will help you your production music career is going to that conference. They're not paying me to say that. I'm not pushing it for any other reason. I'm just telling you, from one composer to the other, it's helped my career. It's helped me tremendously. So anyway, I'm off. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next. Be cool. Bye.